Hey everybody, it's Brittany Sacco. So we are here with my favorite experts. So we are talking about hurricane season, which in Florida, we already know June 1st to November 1st, technically. Realistically, it lasts for longer than that. And honestly, we've already had a hurricane technically in the Atlantic. But anyway, so let's talk about hurricane prep from my end, the realtor, from Gregg's end, the inspector. And you do a lot of like handiwork and stuff. Um, so from my end, I would definitely tell you for hurricane prep, make sure you have your stuff ready, like, go get your waters now. Don't wait till the very last minute. The things you want to eat too, like especially if they're canned goods and things like that, just grab it now. Have a bin full of it ready, right? Like I can give you a list. We all get that stuff. That's totally fine. But have that stuff ready. Make sure that your documents are in a plastic bag. Yes, you can technically put them inside of the dishwasher, but I still wouldn't trust that. So there are boxes made for this specifically. I would have that stuff ready. What would you suggest?
Well, if you have a generator, make sure your generator is properly hooked up and you don't do it the wrong way. Have your roof checked ahead of time. Make sure your air conditioning unit has hurricane straps on it. Pool pumps are anchored down. All these things that can get blown away because we see that a lot on inspections where they don't have the anchors and the tie downs and all the things that you need.
Yeah.
Go around the house. If you have a fence, check your fence. Make sure your fence isn't loose.
Okay.
Look at all the different things that can become flying projectiles in your yard.
Okay, so let me ask you something, Greg. As an inspector, would you recommend that people have their houses inspected even if they've been living there prior to the hurricane for insurance purposes, maybe?
Well, sometimes it makes sense to check the roof. I mean, if you want to do something that's updated for insurance,
Mm-hmm.
you probably want to do a 4-point inspection and check all the major things that the insurance company is going to want you to look at.
Okay.
It can't hurt to say to the inspector while you're up on the roof, just tug at a couple shingles and make sure they're all snug and nothing's going to come up off of my roof and none of the ridge shingles look like they're going to lift up and I don't see any exposed nails or anything missing that's up on the roof.
Okay, so in my thing too, to bring his point, make sure you don't see anything inside of your house that's like leaking or wet now, and make sure you take pictures of everything outside of your house and inside of your house, especially your cars and stuff. So let me pass your mic on to our roofer. So tell me who you are and what you do.
My name's Max. I work with 3MG Roofing.
Mhm.
I'm a project manager.
Nice. Okay, so what would you tell people about roofing for hurricane season? What would you tell them to prep for or do afterwards?
I think like the biggest thing is really having awareness of what your hurricane deductible is. That's gonna obviously have a big impact on what you're gonna pay for a roof repair or roof replacement. I would also say like don't be afraid to file a claim if you have damage. It's obviously what you're paying insurance for. A lot of people are afraid that if I file a claim, my rates are going to go up. Well, most insurance companies are looking at your zip code in your neighborhood and they know that your neighbors are filing claims and such. So when they write your policy, when the rates do go up, it's going to go up for your neighborhood, your zip code, as opposed to your specific house. So if you have damage, that's the whole point of insurance, is to protect you from that stuff. I'd file a claim. Most roofing companies are going to do an inspection for free. So get up on the roof, let them get up on the roof, see the damage, all of that good stuff. Most project managers are going to be able to be knowledgeable about insurance, be able to kind of direct you and help you on what the next steps are. I also think it's important that you educate yourself on recoverable depreciation. Most insurance companies aren't going to give you the full amount that you're looking for right away. And it's important that you understand what that recoverable depreciation is so you can get the best quality roof replacement possible and that you don't leave money on the table.
Okay, so thank you for that. So now we're going to go on and pass it to our insurance guy. So tell me who you are and what you do.
My name's Corey Whitaker. I work for Goosehead Insurance. I am a executive account producer, office manager, or whatever title I need to hold that day.
Awesome. Okay, so what would you tell everybody for hurricane season?
So hurricane season obviously is our favorite time of year as insurance agents. On the buying side of houses, insurance wise, please make sure you have all of your documents ready. As a realtor, as a buyer of the house, have all of your documents ready, inspections done, because once we get the okay to bind the policy, we need to go ahead and do that. If there's a storm that's 3 days out, most insurance companies shut down for business. It could delay closing. It could cause damage to the house that you're trying to buy, and the whole sale could fall through. There's so many different things that could end up happening. So the biggest thing that I see people could do is just have like inspections and everything ready whenever it's time to buy a house during hurricane season.
So let me ask you something really quick about the binding. There is something that it's a square, and if a hurricane ends up in that square, what is that called?
It's the wind pool.
Okay.
I believe is what you're referring
Yep.
to.
Mm-hmm.
It's X amount of miles from the coast of where you are guaranteed to have hurricane force winds. It's not a if, it's a when. And most of the time that's where most damage happens whenever a hurricane hits land.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Yes. The other thing, just to kind of back up, sorry, I don't know if we're going to cut this or not.
Yeah, we can.
Just to back up what Max said, please make sure that you read your policy contract. Like, understand your deductibles. If you don't have an agent, please shop your insurance through me, because your agent isn't doing right if they are not telling you what your policy covers. Most people get upset with insurance companies or have problems with insurance companies because they don't read their contract, and it's in the paperwork.
So, and that's something that I will tell you constantly is, and I'm going to text everybody, all of my buyers especially, and even my sellers, if you're still in the state of Florida, I'm going to contact you and tell you, hey, hurricane season's coming. We really need to look at these things. If you don't have somebody, I'm going to recommend you over to Corey, but you need to have these conversations before the storms come, because this is the time to get it ready. We're prepping, like literally prepping. So just to make sure we are all aware of that. Greg, you said something. What did you say?
Corey, I wasn't trying to cut it.
No, you're good.
It's the HVHZ, as Florida likes to call it, the high velocity hurricane zone.
Yeah.
Okay. And yes, these are things that we have to worry about because we do live in the state of Florida, which is beautiful right now, but we all know that it's going to try to take us out in a couple months. So just be prepared. That's all I'm saying. So thank you guys for doing this. I really appreciate you both. All three of you. Sorry, not both. Oh my gosh. Thank you.